On this AMR, Dan fights a mud hole, battles against gravity, and declares all-out war on nature. Alright guys and gals, the day has finally come to get some performance test numbers on Dan's Renegade. He's out there doing some practice laps around the short course right now. Getting the belt warmed up. We're gonna get our 0 to 30 time. We're gonna get a short course time. Do our braking time. We're gonna do engine braking test and our regular stock tire test. So we'll let Dan get some warm-up laps here. And we'll probably start with our 0 to 30 time then. All right, Dan's got his belt warmed up. The draggy is hooked up and running. We'll see what this bad boy Rennie can do 0 to 30. Fighting for traction. That was fast. That was really fast.
That was actually like 47. But...
That was fast. 0 to 30 first time is 2.3 seconds. A couple more runs. Run number 2 at 2.27.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking the C-Force got a 2.25 is the best.
Yeah, if this thing wouldn't spin so much, I might find a better spot.
You're spinning crazy. I tell you what, I'm gonna go down there so we can get some of that on.
Sounds good. Good?
I'm ready when you are. Just a spinning her. Alrighty. That one was slower, 2.38 seconds.
That one spun a lot right there.
It did spin a lot. So your best time out of those 3 runs was 2.27.
I think we could do one more. But I'm gonna go back.
Go up on the little high spot there?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll give you one more because I know you just want to make sure you beat that C-Force 1000.
I can't lose to that.
I'll be depressed. I do believe he popped a wheelie on that one. I was watching the camera and couldn't tell. Did you mean to bring the front end off the ground like that?
I couldn't help it. It's still better.
2.3, yep.
So if I would have stayed planted, it would have been a lot faster.
I'll give you one more, Dan.
All right, one more.
See if you can keep that front end down.
See what we can do.
Hey, kept it down a little better. Looks like he popped up on a little hump right there, though.
But it still came up.
Well, you hit the little bump right there and that gave you enough of a pop. 2.27, so that's 2 runs, 2.27, so
I guess we're gonna have to take it, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just confirmed, because I saw the video on my phone of what the C-Force 1000 got 0 to 30. Dan's best time was a 2.27 seconds. The C-Force 1000's best time, consistently best time, because I think I got that time a couple of times with the C-Force, was 2.25.
That's really depressing, but I got more power.
Oh, you definitely got more power because you're getting a lot more wheel spin than that.
And I got a shorter wheelbase.
And I think that was the trick to the C-Force even beating this in 4 out of 5 drag races, is it just got better traction and took off, and this guy sits here and
If I pulled my front suspension down so it wouldn't pull up, I bet you I'd get it 2 flat.
I bet you if we did a run from like a 10 to like a drag race, like a cruising start, this thing would beat it, probably hands down. We'll have to see if I can get the demo back and give that a try one of these times, but
we'll see.
There's the official Renegade 0 to 30 for the channel though, 2.27 seconds.
It's depressing.
Well, let's see how quick she stops from 30 to 0 now.
Not great.
Probably not great. We're gonna test her. All right, I'm gonna grab my old measure wheel here. Whoop. We'll let Dan get up to speed and slam on the brakes and see how quickly this beast stops. She slid, she's light, she slides. So we'll go to the front tire. 44.9 feet.
That's really bad.
30 to 0.
I think that's really bad.
Again, full disclosure, we are slightly wet conditions here because it's rained over the past day or so. And you can see there, and be able to see in the video, you locked the tires up and did a lot of sliding. But I mean, this machine's so weight to begin with. Yeah. You've said that the braking's not the best on it, so.
Yeah, it's really stiff to even pull the brake.
Yeah. Well, let's get some short course times. Look at that, Dan's always trying to cheat by starting here with a straight shot. Ah, we gotta start here and start with that little turn. What's he doing, that trickster? He's still afraid that the C-Force 1000 beats him here too. All right, Dan, 3 runs, see what your best time is. Have at her, son. Carry on our wayward son. Okay, I'll stop singing. Yeah, jeez. Oh, I'm glad I got that. Dan just took out a tree.
It's really unfortunate for that tree.
So, Dan, somebody threw a tree out in the middle of you.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Oh, the poor little locust tree. It got flattened. Oh, that's all right. Locusts are a nuisance anyway. Oh, look, we fixed him. All right. So Dan did several laps now. He had a best time around the short course of 30.39 seconds. So not too shabby. Up on 2 wheels a lot. Dan's working hard.
Should be better.
Should be better, but
I guess for being slick out, it's not terrible.
Question is, did he beat the C-Force on the short course? Well, I don't have that time right now, so I don't remember. But I was thinking it was a 31, so I think he did beat the C-Force. Yeah. So
hopefully.
We'll have to review video later and I'll put the time here. We just don't know whether we need to celebrate or not. All right, we are to our stock tire traction test. Again, a pretty nice little hill climb. I don't think we have anything make it up in 2.0 drive yet. Most everything makes it up to about the rock before it spins out, and we'll see how Dan's does. Usually in 4.0 drive though, everything else makes it up. This is the same hill I use for my reviews, so we'll see how the Renegade does.
You ride about what, 5 miles an hour?
Yeah, 5 miles an hour low gear, and see how far you make it up before you spin out.
Okay, good.
I'm ready. Pretty much the same as everything.
That's actually not bad.
Not bad, no. Like, it made it up just as far as everything else we've had on this hill. And
maybe a little further.
these are dirt tires, so
Yeah.
see how she does with just regular 4-wheel drive.
But good, that's all I got.
Yeah, Dan doesn't have diff lock, so it's this or nothing.
Ready?
I'm ready. Go. And she is wet. She's gonna make it. Oh, he's chewing. Oh! he didn't make it. Oh! There is the Visco lock for you. Yeah. Well, lightweight too. You spun.
It was doing good until it hit that root.
And again, guys, wet conditions today. This isn't dry. Most everything else we've done is dry. You want to give her one more try?
Yeah, I'm actually going to back up and give it a 5 run because I started at the base of the hill.
Yeah, get a little more of a run.
I'm going to prepare. The front got a little sketchy. Actually, let me put the foot on the brake side.
There you go. Not quite, just spins out. All right, but to the Renegade's credit, it is made to go faster. So hit it about 10 miles an hour, and I bet you she climbs right up it.
Well, I can just give it a little more throttle right here, don't we?
Well, probably. Yeah, so, but again, stock tire traction test, we usually hit it at 5, and the Renegade spun out. But if you had an actual locker in the front, I think you would have continued to climb up. I couldn't see both tires at the same time to see if they were both spinning or not with the Visco lock.
No, it was doing good until that one tire hit this root right here in the front, and the rear one touched that one.
Yep.
And as soon as they both hit, it was done.
Yep. Okay. Well, on to our engine braking hill. We'll see how this engine braking is on this beast. So one thing I do want to point out about the Renegade, because when you think about performance testing, you're pretty much thinking like flat out, throttled to the max as fast as it will go. But I want to speak on its trail riding performance, because despite being a powerhouse and a go-fast machine, the Renegade is still very tame for normal trail riding. So if you do a majority of trail riding, but like to play once in a while, then the Renegade would be fine for you, because yeah, it's got all the more power you could want for those occasions you want it, but it's still being able to trail ride without being a handful and trying to get away from you. It does perfectly fine as well, and Dan doesn't have any trouble, especially with the work modes, dialing that power back and keeping that power well under control. Well, we are at our engine braking test now, because just like my Outlander, Dan's Renegade has the 3-mode engine braking. So we'll do the same test. He'll hit it about 5 miles an hour. When he hits the top of the hill, let off the throttle and see how well he coasts. We'll do it in low gear in all 3 modes. Well, let's cut out the middle. We don't need the middle mode. So we'll just do high gear, low gear with the minimum and maximum setting. And then you can just figure that medium is going to be somewhere in between. And he coasts right on by. Listen to that motor purr. Woo. I know it's hard to get a scope of the steepness of this hill, but I mean, it's pretty steep. You can see how it goes up there. This side's pretty much the same steepness. So here we go. Engine braking max in high. Engine braking maximum in high gear. Not much difference.
I can't tell if it's slid at all.
It's not sliding much. You came down probably you came down about as fast, but once you got to the bottom, you stopped a lot sooner.
I can feel it kicking in at the bottom.
Yeah. Because with it on minimum, you just flew on by, but you could tell definitely when you hit the bottom here, it slowed you down a lot more.
Yeah.
So low gear should be pretty good.
Hopefully.
Low gear, engine braking on the minimum setting now. There's a big difference. Was that still on high? Maximum setting, that was minimum. Wow, minimum and low gear. you're going to end up like sliding more than you're holding back.
Right. So tap my button.
Minimum.
If I hold it,
Alright. See how she does in max then. I thought for sure that was max. Man, I think he's going to slide more than he holds back on this one, if that's how good minimum was in low range. There's the slide. Excellent engine braking.
It's okay. We'll cool down. There you go. Good girl. I find it disturbing that this has a better engine brake than your four-wheeler.
It does. I mean, yeah, I think when we did the test on mine, it came down there a lot faster.
I think they tuned this one wrong.
And maybe they got this one mixed up with that one, and
yeah,
that's what happened. Because of course, when we did my Outlander HD7, it was, I think, slicker, and I know I did a lot of sliding.
You did.
While we're doing this, let's do me one run, low gear, maximum, and
Just
see
for
how
comparison.
it compares, just to compare.
Low range, max engine brake.
I don't know if I was sliding much or not, but
Is that four-wheel drive?
four-wheel drive, low gear, engine braking on maximum, and it came down at least twice as fast as your Renegade.
Yeah, your rear wheels were sliding a little bit. Your fronts, they weren't sliding at all.
No.
Which is crazy because you think being a four-wheel drive walk, it should evenly come
Well,
down.
I wasn't in lock. I was just in regular four-wheel
but
drive.
even at that, your rear wheels and your front wheels are still locked together. So
Yeah.
why are the backs sliding, the front's not?
Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. Unless Can-Am figured, because the Renegade's a performance machine, they know people is going to be ripping faster. They made it more aggressive so they could slow them down quicker to help in corners. Is my only guess.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why my brakes blew out on that one turn earlier.
That could be. It's made to let the engine braking work for you, Dan, and not against you.
You're right.
So the only thing we had left to test was the suspension of the Renegade. However, before we tested the suspension, I did manage to talk Dan into trying one more thing as part of the tests. All right, Dan's already tried the whole once, but since I went in it today, he's gonna go in it today again for the second time. Only this time, he's gonna enter from here and see how deep it is up in here. So this might be very entertaining. Oh, Dan's gonna try it from the deep end. How far is he gonna dig? No! You're done. She is sunk. Sunka to sunka sunk.
See?
Use the winch. Wet belt. Dan's got a wet belt. What were you just saying about possibly needing a new belt soon?
Yeah. Sooner than expected. I just quit hitting the throttle.
Oh yeah, she's a slipping for sure. Wow. Ooh-wee. That's years and years of leaf buildup right there, buddy. Yes, sir. And with that, it was time to test the suspension. Country Whoops 2.0 section, we're gonna see how the suspension works on the old Renegade. These are the new and highly improved Country Whoops. I'd say they definitely live up to their name and far surpass their predecessors. So Dan does have his suspension set up pretty soft for trail riding, so it's kind of, these whoops are overtaking it, but on the trail it's like a pretty nice setup. He is talking about stiffening things up a little bit, because I think he does bottom out a little bit. Pushes pretty good in the corners because he's getting enough body roll, but even as soft as it is, it handled Where Did That Come From quite plush, and it hardly bounced him around at all, which that was pretty impressive. And I don't believe it bottomed the shocks out, but I'd have to talk to him to confirm. Of course, hitting the jumps, it's a Renegade. Good. It jumps just fine. Oh, you look gorgeous, Dan. You look gorgeous. Look at that stylish do. Look at that.
Now let me get this on and cover up. there. Okay, we're good.
Well, I'm not editing that out now, so you're going to be on there anyway. Okay. So you might as well just finish with your helmet off.
No, it's already on. Too late.
All right, guys. So there is the performance tests with the Renegade. I'm glad we got these in before the snow was flying. We're supposed to get snow here in a couple of days, aren't we? A couple inches of snow we can get. Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah, this is Wednesday. Friday, we're supposed to get a couple inches of snow. So I'm glad we got this in beforehand. If there's any other tests you want to see this Renegade go under, if weather allows, we'll get it done. But if not, we will get it done come springtime. And I think we're definitely going to have to do a little tug of war between the Outlander and the Renegade.
I mean, are we going to use the old stock tires, or are we going to do it when I put the new tires on? Because I'd like to have those on before winter. Yeah, we got the weight advantage with the Renegade, or with my Outlander, so we'll at least do it with the new tires on. How's that? That'd be a good way to break them in when we put them in. On. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the videos. I don't know if the performance numbers are shocking or not, but I mean, that's top of the pack as far as the machines we've tested so far. Not quite as good as the C-Force 1000, but I mean, it's close. Oh. I've been really skeptical. They make a offset rear A-arms for these, or controlling arms, or trailing arms, whatever you want to call them.
Lengthen it a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm curious, because this thing, all it wants to do is pick up. Like, it hooks, and it just wants to go, woo! And
that go again?
I'm 230 pounds here, and I can lean over the handlebars, and it'll still go, so I don't know if I want to invest in those, but if I do, I think it would actually help the performance numbers that much better. The cornering, I don't think, but like the drag racing and your like hill climbs and the traction tests, I think it would benefit a little bit.
And not to point out Dan's weight, but speaking of Dan's weight, these Appalachian Mountain Rider shirts are definitely slimming, and you make it look good. We're going to be relaunching a whole new merch for the channel here very soon. So you'll be able to get a shirt like this, as well as some new shirts coming up very soon. So we're excited to get that out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video of doing some performance testing on the Renegade. Thanks for watching. And until next time, keep on riding.